Hi, fifth graders. It is time for our Topic 13 review. Your test will be tomorrow, and remember, each of these problems match up with a question on the test. So you really need to pay attention and write down everything I do so you're ready for your test tomorrow, because these are just like the test questions. I've skipped some of them because I shortened the test to make it only 10 problems, and so some of them we will not do. Okay, I'm going to show you the book and I'm going to work them out for you. So the first one says, number 1, which of the following is equal to 10? Oh, and if you want to go faster than me and then check your answers, that's okay too. Okay, so basically what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to solve each of these and see which one equals 10, okay? So I'm going to start with the first one, and I'm going to write them over to the side so I have more room. So 2 times, in parentheses, 45 divided by 9, okay? Now, while you do your test, I want you to have your notes from the previous days in front of you so you know the order of operations, okay? But I know I have to do parentheses first. So 45 divided by 9, I know is 5, because 9 times 5 is 45. And then I have my 2 times. Well, 2 times 5 is 10. Now, we got lucky on that one, and the first one ended up being our answer. So I'm going to color in the A. That will not always be the case though, so if you don't get the answer on the first one, you're going to keep going and doing the other ones. But I just happened to get 10 on the first time. Okay. All right, we're going to skip number 2. All right, number 3. Which is the value of the expression 7 plus 3 times 4 minus 2? Okay, so the value means like what is the total when you solve it. All right, so I'm going to write that down. 7 plus, oops, that's a times, not a plus. 7 plus 3 times 4, in parentheses, minus 2. Okay, so I know I have to do the parentheses first. So 3 times 4 is 12. Then I'm going to add my minus 2 on this side. I'm going to add my 7 plus on this side. Okay. Now what I have left is addition and subtraction. And those happen at the same time. So that means I go left to right. I do whatever comes first. So 7 plus 12 is first. So when I think about 12 plus 7, I get 19. Okay. And then minus 2, because I still haven't done that. Then 19 minus 2 is 17. So my final answer over here is 17. All right, so that's just kind of a solving one. All right, number 4. Which expression represents the following calculation? Add 16 to the quotient of 72 and 8. So when I see the word quotient, it means I need to what? It means I need to divide. So I know my answer has to be B or C because they're the only ones with division, okay? Now it says add 16 to the quotient of those two. So I know 72 and 8 are going to need to be divided. So that's looking like B. And then it says add 16 to that, and that is adding 16. So my answer is B. Add 16 to the quotient of 72 and 8. B is my answer. All right, number 5. What is the value of 100 times 15 plus 10 times 15? All right, another one that I'm just going to solve. All right, so when I see 2 parentheses, I can do both of them at the same time, okay? So I'm going to look 100 times 15. If I look at my 1 times 15, I get 15. And then I'm going to add those 2 zeros to the end. Plus, when I do 10 times 15, I get that 1 times 15 is 15. And then I add 1 0 at the end. So now I have 1,500 plus 150. So I'm going to go over here, 1,500 plus 150, just to make sure. 0 plus 5 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6, and 1 plus 0 is 1. So my answer is 1,650. Next up, number 6. Now I kind of changed this one because the one in the book was not like the one on your test, so I made it more like the one on your test. So it says, describe how the value of expression A compares to the value of expression B. So here's expression A, here's expression B. So when I'm saying compares, I'm seeing is it greater than, less than, or equal to, okay? Now I'm going to look over here. Now I'm going to look for what's the same. So the 36 plus 25 is the same in both. So I'm going to kind of ignore those and I'm going to look over here. If I multiplied something by 4 or I multiplied something by 7, which one would be bigger? Well, multiplying something by 7 would be bigger. So 4 times 36 plus 25 is less than 7 times 36 plus 25. So my symbol is opening to the 7 because the 7 is bigger. All right. Okay, we're going to skip number 7, so we're going to move on to number 8. It says, insert parentheses to make the statement true. So I've put parentheses in a few different places. Now what we have to do is we have to make the statement true, okay? So we're going to have to solve all of these until we get to the right one. So this one might take a little bit, okay? So I'm going to see what room I have. Maybe I'll use some room over there too. Okay, so I'm going to do the first one first. So the first one has the parentheses around the first two numbers. So 7 plus 6 times 14 minus 9. All right. 7 plus 6 is 13 times 14 minus 9. Okay, I'm going to stop there actually, because I'm going to think to myself, if I did 13 times 14, I'm going to get a pretty big number, and my answer needs to be 37. So even if I take away 9, I don't think I'm going to be close to 37. I'm going to leave that one there for now, just in case I need it. But like I said, I don't think I'm going to be close enough to that 37. Okay, so I'm going to try the next one instead. So 7 plus 6 times 14, and then minus 9. All right, well, I do not know what 6 times 14 is, and I have to do that first. So I'm going to come over here, 14 times 6. So 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 1 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So I got 84. 7 plus 84 minus 9. Now I can see that too. If I add 7 to 84, that would give me a little above 90. And if I took away minus 9, that would give me back in the 80s. Definitely not 37. So that one doesn't make sense either. Okay. So now I'm going to try this last one. I'll do it over here. So I have 7 plus 6 times 14 minus 9. All right, so I'm going to start with 14 minus 9. Now think in your head, what's 14 minus 9? The answer is 5. Then I'm going to times my 6 and add 7. Okay, so now I have to think, what do I do next? Do I add or multiply next? Well, when I think about my order of operations, I multiply next. Okay, remember that order. So I'm going to do 6 times 5 is 30. All right, so I already used that 6, so I'm just going to add the 7 over here. And then I think, what's 7 plus 30? 37. And that was the answer that I was looking for. So that means my parentheses need to go around the 14 and the 9 to make the correct answer. Okay. On your test tomorrow, it'll be multiple choice, and you'll have to pick the one that's correct. But you'll have to do what I just did and and solve all of them to see which answer is correct. All right, next page. Skipping number 9. All right, number 10. What is the value of the expression 6 plus 3 times 2? So we're just solving. So I see parentheses. I know I need to do that first. So 6 plus 3 is 9. And then when I do times 2, 9 times 2 is 18. So my answer is 18. Pretty easy one. All right, next up. Evaluate the expression 6 plus 12 divided by 2 plus 4. All right, so this one You really have to think. So I see parentheses, but even in parentheses, I have to follow order of operations. So when I see adding and dividing, I can't do adding first because that doesn't come first in my order of operations. Dividing comes first, okay? So when I do 12 divided by 2, I get 6. And I still have those parentheses because I haven't solved everything in there yet, okay? So I did the 12 divided by 2 equals 6 first, okay? So then I'm going to do my 6 plus 6, and that equals 12. And then I have my plus 4 from the end. 12 plus 4 equals 16. So my final answer is 16. You really got to be careful on things like that. Making sure that 12 divided by 2 equals 6. You do that part first before you do the adding, because in order of operations, dividing comes before adding. Okay? All right, next up, number 13. Write an expression to find the product of 3 and 28 plus the product of 2 and 15. So you have to think, okay, what does product mean? Product means I multiply. So the product of 3 and 28 would mean I'm multiplying 3 times 28, okay? Then I have to do plus the product of 2 and 15. Product of 2 and 15 means I need to multiply 2 times 15, okay? Now something else you'll want to do is you'll want to put these in parentheses. So you make sure you do them first. With order of operations, you would anyway, but that just kind of makes it a little neater, showing the product of 3 and 28 plus the product of 2 and 15. Okay? Now this one on your test does not ask you to solve it, just asks you to find whatever the expression is. Okay? All right, number 14, this is the last one. It has a couple of steps. Okay, so it says evaluate the expression. All right, so there it is. Letter A says, what step do you perform first in evaluating this expression? So I'm looking and I'm saying, what would I do first? I would have to do the parentheses first. So I would have to subtract 24 minus 4. That would be my first step that I'm doing because that's what's in the parentheses. Okay. Next, what step do you perform second? Okay, so if I did my 24 minus 4, I got 20. I already did that. Okay. I would have to see, what do I do next? Do I add, or divide? Well, if you remember your order of operations, you divide next. Okay. So next I would have to divide 8 divided by 2. That would be my next step, 8 divided by 2. Okay. Now finally it says, what is the value of this expression? That means you need to solve it. Whenever it asks the value again, you need to solve. Okay. So I'm going to write it down here. 6 plus 24 minus 4 plus 8 divided by 2 is what I'm solving. Okay, so I know I need to do my parentheses first. 24 minus 4 is 20. Now I'm going to go ahead and write all the rest of it, plus 8 divided by 2. Don't forget what's at the top, or at the front, plus 6. Okay, now we talked about how I need to divide next. I'm going to do 8 divided by 2 next, which is 4. Okay. Then I'm going to add my plus 20, my plus 6, because I already used that 8 divided by 2 to get to my 4. Okay. Now since it's just plus left, I'm just going to do it all at once. So 6 plus 20 would be 26, and then 26 plus 4 would be 30. So my final answer is 30. All right, make sure you really follow along with that. Make sure you've taken notes on everything. If you're confused about something, you can go back and watch that part of the video again, and this will help you be prepared for your test tomorrow. Have a good day.